Hey y'all, this is Allison hanging out. Actually, at this moment, as I voice over, I'm hanging out in my friend's backyard, looking for deer, listening to the birds. But I've been using her craft room for my space to craft while I'm here house sitting for her. And I have this beautiful 49 in Market paper. It's from two different sets. One is Tranquility and the other is Midnight something. Midnight Garden. So I have some photos of my daughter's dorm. Here's it before and then after. And this is my friend's cat that we're watching. And I decided to take the white off the photos because the mat that I'm using is relatively light colored and I think it will work okay. So I think, so here I'm like, oh yeah, I meant to take the white off. Let's fix that. So I don't think I make you watch me do the other photos. But this is, so I have one 4x6 and then I have four 3x4s and I'm doing a 2-page layout. So I picked two papers that sort of coordinate together and there's a lot of teal in these papers, but I'm going more for the things that are a little more blue and pink because those are the colors my daughter did in her room. Oh, I do make you watch me trim these. And the thing in the 49 in Market, you occasionally get some that will make a 2-page layout. I know Vicki Boutin does that. But you just kind of, you have to sacrifice a fancy side in order for a 2-page layout to work. So I'm going to use this other paper as a mat. And then I'm double matting the 4x6, the big picture, with this and the other paper. I decide since this is a little bigger, it should go at first. And I'm going to ink it with Hickory Smoke. I do ink everything on this page with Hickory Smoke. Just because there's a lot of grays, I didn't want to pull in too much black, though I could have used black. I ended up using black letters. So in retrospect, I could have used black, but I didn't. I just wanted to add a little tiny bit more contrast so the papers would show up. And I'm really limited on ephemera for these paper packs. For some reason, I didn't even bring the packaging, which usually has ephemera that you can cut out on it. Somehow I didn't pack that. So I'm feeling a little limited. There are some other things I would do. I think on 49 in Market, I often feel like I want to distress them. Excuse me. I wasn't able to do that. So I'm pulling out some of the border strips and I'm going to do a border on one side. And I've already trimmed out one of them that looked lacy. And I think that will look nice to sort of parallel that butterfly border on the other side. So I'm just messing around a little bit with the layout. I ink and stick everything down off camera. So here I'm just auditioning things, what I want to do. I'm using 3 border strips on one side, and I think that's, of course, the trio, the right amount. I have cut this butterfly and some little stamps out of a scrap of paper that I had. And then I had brought a few pieces of ephemera, including some additional butterflies. They're not 49 in Market butterflies, but they work okay. And then I have this house plant since my daughter was decorating her room, and she did have a few plants and flowers to add to it, so I thought that was cute and appropriate. And then I've punched some little hearts out of some scraps of paper. I have this one scrap left, and I'm going to turn that into a journaling box. It's not going to live there in the end. I'm going to change it up. It looks okay there, but you're also covering quite a few of the butterflies. So I decide to use this Vicki Boutin lettering, and then I'm pulling out some small pieces from the title from, I think it's from Tranquility. The only word in there that I thought might work was the word life, and I could have put dorm life, but then that lettering doesn't really look good with the Vicki Boutin letters. So I decide to go with dorm transform, because it was quite the transformation my daughter did from this very barren dorm room with fixed furniture and just made it look so cozy and cute. And it was all her doing, none of mine. She picked everything out, she ordered everything, she put it all together, she had her vision, and she loves her dorm room. So I'm just pulling out some little circular pieces that I think will work, and some little few wordy bits and some little hearts that are in there. And that's going to add some nice texture from the chipboard, some dimension to the page as well. And then I have these alphas. They're kind of fun. They're all they're different sizes. So this is not going to fit here. Heads up, it's going to have to move. And I end up putting dorm at the kind of at the top, and then transform across the bottom. And I play around with it quite a bit, trying to figure out what I want it to look like, where I want it to go, and none of this is working for me. So it just, it's floating out there, doesn't make sense. And that's when I decide, all right, this is what we're doing. We're going to tuck in the word dorm, and then it's sort of more tied to that little cluster, and then transform across the bottom. And I'm still thinking I might put the journal box on this side since I only have 2 photos, but that's not what happens. So I set it aside because I'm not loving it. And I decide to add the question mark at the top. Now I haven't stuck these photos down yet, but I'm getting close to where I'm satisfied. And I probably could have written transform across the bottom of the other page, but I always think it's a little bit weird when the title is so disconnected, because it would be at a different level and on a different page. So I went off and pulled out some sequins that I had brought with me, and I found that I had brought these doilies. And I thought, well, those will work on here. It's kind of a doily feeling kind of page. So I am adding some ink to it, and then just tucking them under, just to add, again, another layer, another dimension to these, a little more femininity. And I'm pretty happy with that. And then we're going to glue our the sequins down. The sequins I have are some blue, some pink, some gold that are just, I think, from Dollar Tree. And then I have some Felicity Jane little florals, little flower ones. And so I'm going to intersperse those. And then I also have some pearls, so I'm going to add some pearls. I know it's kind of a strange mix, but I think 49 and Market can be very eclectic looking, and so I'm okay with that. And my daughter loves bling, so you gotta have some bling on the page. And I did the gold because there's some gold dots in the letters and some gold accents, some gold foiling on some of the ephemera. So I wanted to add in a few gold sequins. So I am placing them carefully, just because there's a right side and a wrong side on most of them, and I don't have my pickup tool, so I'm just being persnickety, I guess. And we're going to glue those down. It doesn't take long. I don't have a million of them. So please give this video a thumbs up if you love my daughter's dorm room or you love the page. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to reach 1,000 subscribers, but that's going to take you sharing this page or liking it at least so that more people can see it and join my Space to Craft. I really appreciate you guys and hope you've enjoyed this page that I got to make with limited tools and limited supplies, but I think it still came out really, really cute. I think we're about ready for some close-ups. Oh yeah, the pearls. And I did a medium-sized pearl and a tiny one. And the big ones are just way too big. So I just did a little set of 2. And let's take a look. So, dorm, transform. And there's my daughter hard at work. And all the bling and the hearts and the butterflies. Thanks for watching, you guys.